Hi. In this video I will tell you about a heartwarming drama based on the true story of world-renowned neurosurgeon Ben Carson. We will follow Carson's journey from his childhood in Detroit to his groundbreaking career at John Hopkins Hospital, showcasing his struggles with poverty and racism as well as his triumphs as a successful doctor and pioneer in neurosurgery. Before we dive into exciting story, please subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. The film follows Ben Carson, a primary student in Detroit during 1966. Despite his efforts, he is struggling academically and is frequently teased and bullied by his classmates. One day, while being bullied, Benny loses control and hits one of his classmates in the head. After Benny's altercation with his classmate, his mother Sonia is called into the principal's office to discuss the incident. As they leave, Benny expresses his frustration at feeling dumb, but Sonia reassures him that he is an intelligent boy who just needs to try harder. Despite her words of encouragement, Sonia worries about Benny's future, fearing that if he doesn't do well in school he may end up taking on menial, low-paying jobs. She wants more for her sons, Benny and Curtis. As she assists Benny with his studies, Sonia realizes that he is having difficulty seeing the board and other materials. She makes arrangements for him to get a pair of glasses, which greatly improves his grades. Despite her efforts, Benny remains self-conscious about his intelligence compared to his classmates, but Sonia consistently encourages him to focus on his studies and do his best. One Sunday, Benny attends church and hears the story of a missionary doctor who selflessly treats poor patients despite facing danger and death threats. This inspires him to pursue a career as a missionary doctor himself. Meanwhile, Sonia is struggling with depression and visits a psychiatrist to talk about her past. She shares the story of being raised in foster care and marrying Carson at a young age. They were happy together with their sons until Sonia discovered Carson's first marriage and another child. Despite her attempts to make things work, the situation became too difficult, leading to their divorce. To support her family, Sonia works as a cleaner and babysitter. She also confides in the psychiatrist about her illiteracy and her fear that her sons will face similar struggles. When the psychiatrist learns of Sonia's suicidal thoughts, they recommend that she spend some time in the hospital for treatment. During dinner with her sons, Sonia tells them that she will be away for a few weeks, but doesn't reveal the truth about being in the hospital. She emphasizes the importance of studying hard as the key to improving their lives. While Sonia is in the hospital, Benny works hard to keep his promise, and his academic performance steadily improves. Eventually, he earns an A for the first time, and when Sonia returns home, he proudly shares the news with her. She is thrilled and proud of her son's hard work and dedication. Sonia gets a new job cleaning the house of Professor Burkett, who has an extensive collection of books. Inspired by his wealth of knowledge, Sonia comes up with a plan to encourage her sons to develop a love of reading. She announces that she will cut off their screen time and requires them to visit the library and read 2 books every week. Despite their protests, Sonia is firm in her decision. At first, Benny and Curtis are reluctant to go to the library, but eventually Benny begins to enjoy it and often reads to his mother. As he reads books on various topics, his knowledge expands, which helps him in his studies. His newfound passion for reading not only surprises his classmates, but also his teachers. One of Benny's teachers is particularly impressed with his knowledge about rocks and shows him some specimens under a microscope, introducing him to a whole new world. Over time, Benny excels in his studies, and Sonia begins taking reading lessons from Professor Burkett. Through their shared love of reading, Benny and his brother gain a wealth of knowledge on a wide range of subjects, which helps them excel in quiz programs and understand the importance of reading. In 8th grade, Benny earns the highest achievement award, proving that he is capable of achieving success in any area he sets his sights on. While he is thrilled to receive the award, the ceremony takes a turn when his teacher discriminates against him due to the color of his skin. This incident prompts Sonia to use her saved money to move her sons to Chicago. At their new high school in Chicago, Benny is once again the target of mockery because of his old clothes. He asks Sonia for new ones, but she has no money left to buy them. The next day at school, Benny stands up to a bully named Carl, who is impressed by his courage and becomes his friend. However, this new friendship leads Benny down a dangerous path as Carl buys him a knife. When Benny comes home, he finds that Sonia has managed to get him new clothes, but he doesn't like them and begins to consider using his knife. The next morning, Benny refuses to wear the new clothes and gets into an argument with his mother. In the heat of the moment, he tries to attack her with a hammer, but his brother Curtis intervenes and stops him. As time goes on, Benny's temper continues to escalate, and he gets into a fight with Carl, stabbing him in the stomach. Although Carl survives, the incident is a wake-up call for Benny, who realizes that his temper could get him into serious trouble. In a moment of reflection, he prays to God and tries to calm himself down. 4 years later, Benny is enrolled at Yale University, where he studies medicine and becomes involved in various extracurricular activities. While attending lectures, he becomes fascinated by the complex workings of the human brain and decides to pursue a career as a brain surgeon. When Benny tells Sonia about his plans to become a brain surgeon, she encourages him to pursue his passion and reminds him that he is capable of achieving anything he sets his mind to. Although he received a scholarship to attend Yale, Benny finds it difficult to maintain his grades. When he confides in his girlfriend Candy about his struggles, she suggests that he use his strength in reading to his advantage by focusing on understanding the concepts rather than just attending lectures. Benny takes her advice to heart and spends his time reading books and notes to gain a deep understanding of chemistry. After months of hard work, Benny takes the exam and earns an A, which he dedicates to Candy. He proposes to her in celebration of his achievement. After completing his degree, Benny goes to an interview for surgery residence at John Hopkins and impresses the doctor with his knowledge and passion, earning a placement at his dream hospital. He begins his professional career with the goal of helping people in need and finds great joy in his work. One day, a critically injured patient is brought to the hospital, but with none of the senior neurosurgeons on duty, Benny reluctantly decides to perform the surgery himself. After a successful operation, he is called into the doctor's office, where he is reprimanded for going against protocol, but also praised for his selfless decision to save a life rather than worry about his own career. This incident marks the beginning of Benny's successful medical career. By 1985, Benny has become the chief of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins and has gained a reputation for successfully handling seemingly impossible cases. He is also happily married to Candy. A young girl named Cynthia is brought into the hospital suffering from severe seizures, and after examining her case, Benny comes up with the idea of removing the left hemisphere of her brain. The surgery is another success in his career, and he perfects the hemispherectomy procedure to treat other patients, gaining significant media attention for his contributions to neurosurgery. Meanwhile, Sonia visits to spend time with her grandchildren and help Candy, who is pregnant with twins. However, Candy's pregnancy takes a turn when she experiences heavy bleeding and is rushed to the hospital. Despite their efforts, the doctors are unable to save the twins, but they are able to save Candy's life. After recovering, Sonia advises Benny to return to the hospital because there are many other patients who need his help. Once back on duty, the doctor briefs Benny about a case of conjoined twins in Germany and asks him to treat them. While such cases have never survived separation in the past, the doctors want to try because the twins will not have full lives otherwise. Despite his uncertainty, Benny flies to Germany and meets the twins' parents, Peter and Augusta Rasch. While caring for her children, Augusta tells Benny that she knew about one of the twins having a better prognosis during pregnancy, but she couldn't bring herself to abort them. Knowing that the doctors might not be able to save both twins, Peter pleads with Benny not to ask them to choose between their sons. After examining the twins, Benny discovers that they are not sharing any vital organs, but there may be complications due to their conjoined brains. While he is confident that he can separate their brains, Benny is concerned about the risk of excessive bleeding that could claim their lives. He decides to return to the US and hold off on the surgery until he can find a way to mitigate the risk. As Benny takes care of his own children, he thinks about the helpless parents of the conjoined twins in Germany and decides to go ahead with the surgery. He informs his senior about his decision and begins researching ways to save both twins. While considering the surgery, Benny remembers his own lost twins and shares his feelings with his mother. Sonia encourages him to go through with the surgery, reminding him that he is capable of achieving anything as long as he believes in himself. Benny assembles a team of neurosurgeons, plastic surgeons, anesthesiologists, and cardiovascular surgeons to rehearse every step of the operation. He invites Peter and Augusta and their sons to John Hopkins for the surgery and explains the procedure to them, including the need to stop the twins' hearts during the surgery in order to reconstruct their veins after separation. On September 5, 1987, the team performs the first ever surgery to separate conjoined twins. After a nerve-wracking 21 hours, Benny successfully saves both twins and shares the good news with their relieved parents. While everyone admires his achievements, Benny thanks his mother and wife for believing in him and shares his success with the media. The epilogue reveals that the twins survived and returned to Germany, where they are still alive today. Benny goes on to perform other successful surgeries on conjoined twins, and his pioneering efforts in hemispherectomy become a widely accepted procedure for treating seizures. In addition to his successful medical career, Benny and Candy also founded the Carson Scholarship Fund to reward the academic excellence of deserving students. The end. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories like this. Bye.